Good morning, everyone. In this section, we will be discussing Prim's algorithm. This algorithm is used to find the minimum spanning tree. Before discussing Prim's algorithm, we must know what is spanning tree and what is minimum spanning tree. A spanning tree is a subset of graph G which has all the vertices covered with minimum possible number of edges. The spanning tree does not have any cycle. So look at the undirected graph. Totally 4 vertices are given here. All the 4 vertices are connected with 5 edges. The edge weights are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So for this undirected graph, we are going to find the spanning trees. For a graph can have more number of spanning trees. Among that, only 2 spanning trees only I have mentioned here. Look at the first spanning tree. Totally 4 vertex, because in the graph we have 4 vertex only. So the 4 vertex are connected with 3 edges. The edge weights are 2, 4 and 5. So what is the cost of this spanning tree? Just add all the edge costs. 2 plus 4 plus 5 is equal to 11. Look at the second spanning tree. Here the 4 vertices are connected with 3 edges. The edge weights are 1, 2 and 5. So the cost of this spanning tree is 7. So for a given graph can have more number of spanning trees. So a single graph can have more number of spanning trees. Then now we can see what is minimum spanning tree. It is spanning tree that has the minimum weight than all other spanning trees of the graph. The weight can be calculated by adding the weights given to each edge of the spanning tree. For example, in a graph we have n vertices, means the spanning tree can have n minus 1 edges. Look at this example. Here we have 4 vertices. So in the spanning tree, how many edges will be there? N minus 1 edges. So here the 4 vertices. So n is equal to 4. 4 minus 1, 3 edges. So in the spanning tree, there will have n minus 1 edges. Now the Prim's algorithm. This Prim's algorithm is a famous greedy algorithm. A greedy is an algorithm design technique that builds up a solution piece by piece. As a technique suggests, always makes the choice that seems to be the best at that moment. And it hopes that this choice will lead to a globally optimal solution. What is the goal of Prim's algorithm? It is used to find the minimum spanning tree of the given graph. To apply the Prim's algorithm, we need a graph that has a weighted, connected and undirected graph. What is a weighted graph? Each and every edge of the graph has some weights. All the vertices should be connected and it is undirected. So the Prim's algorithm is used to find the minimum spanning tree. To implement this, we need a weighted, connected and undirected graph. Now we have taken one problem. The problem here is to construct minimum spanning tree for the given graph using Prim's algorithm. So here this is the graph given. For this graph, it has more number of spanning trees. Among that, we are going to find which one is the minimum spanning tree. In the given graph, totally 7 vertices is given here. The vertices are named as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And all the edges has some weights. The edge 1 to 6 has the weight 10. 1 to 2 has the weight 28. 2 to 3 has the weight 16 and so on. Okay, this is the given graph. What is the first step in Prim's algorithm is we need to select the minimum edge. In this given graph, the minimum edge is 10. Okay, the minimum edge weight is 10. The corresponding edge is 1, 6. So the 1, 6 is entered into the T matrix. What is T matrix? T matrix is the resultant matrix that contains all the edges that are going to use to find the minimum spanning tree. Now we can see what will be the size of the T matrix. Look, this is very, very important. The size of the T matrix must be n minus 1. Here what is n? N denotes the number of vertices. How many vertices we have in this graph? Totally 7 vertices. So n minus 1, 6. So there should be 6 entries in the T matrix. So the first entry is 1, 6. Why we have chosen this 1, 6? Because the minimum weight in the given graph is 10. The edge is 1, 6. So the edge 1, 6 is inserted into the T matrix. This is the first step. Once it is over, we need to fill the near array. What is near array? This near array will tell us what are the edges is adjacent to this nearby adjacent edges. That is the purpose of using near array. The size of the near array is equal to the number of vertices. Here the vertices is equal to 7, totally 7 vertices. So the number of entries in the near array is 7, and it is each and every index is denoted as 1, 2, 3, 4 till the 7. Okay. This near array should be calculated by using this calculation is cost of I comma L less than cost of I comma K. If the condition is true, the near array is updated by the L value. If the condition gets fails, the near array is updated with the K value. Okay. Before filling the near array, you must know what is K and what is L. So the first inserted edge into the T matrix is 1, 6. So the U value, that 1 is the K value and 6 is the L value. I repeat, to fill the near array, we need the K value and the L value. So the first inserted edge into the T matrix is 1, 6. So K becomes 1 and L becomes 6. So now we are applying the value in the calculation and fill the near array. So totally 7 iteration will be done to fill the near array. The first iteration, I takes the value 1. When I equal to 1, cost of 1, 6. What is 1, 6? 1, 6 is 10. And what is cost of 1, 1? 1, 1 is infinity. So 10 less than infinity. The condition is true. If the condition is true, L value is updated in the near array. So in the near array, in the first entry, 6 is filled. Now we are moving to the next iteration. Here the I is incremented by 1 and I takes the value 2. So 2, 6. 2, 6, look at the graph of taking the values. 2, 6, we don't have the direct edge. So it is infinity, and 2, 1 is 28. The condition infinity less than 28 is not satisfied. So K value is filled in the second entry. 1 is inserted in the second entry in the near array. Increment the I value. I becomes 3. So 3, 6. 3, 6 is infinity and 3, 1 is infinity. Infinity less than infinity, again the condition fails. We are filling that entry with the K value 1. Increment the I value. Now the I value becomes 4. 4, 6 is infinity and 4, 1 is also infinity. Infinity less than infinity, condition not satisfied. So we are filling that entry with the K value, that is 1. Now increment the I value. I becomes 5. 5, 6. 5, 6 is 25 and 5, 1 is infinity. So 25 less than infinity, the condition is satisfied. So that entry is filled with L value. What is the L value? 6. So 6 is filled in the fifth entry. Now increment the I value. I becomes 6. 6, 6 is infinity and 6, 1 is 10. So infinity less than 10, the condition is not satisfied. So K value is filled in the sixth entry, that is 1. Now increment the I value. I becomes 7. 7, 6 is infinity and 7, 1 is also infinity. Infinity less than infinity, condition is not satisfied. So it goes to the else part. The else part is the k value. So 1 is filled in the 7th entry. This is the way to fill the near array initially. Okay, now all the 7 entries is filled in the near array. The first entry is filled with 6, the second entry is 1, third entry is 1, fourth is 1, fifth is 6, sixth is 1, and seventh is 1. So far in T matrix, we have inserted only one edge, that is 1, 6. Once the initial array is filled, we are moving to the next step. Here you are making the first entry and the 6th entry in the near array as 0. Okay. How come we get this 1 and 6th entry? Because the first inserted edge in the T matrix is 1, 6. So you are making 1, 6, the first entry and the 6th entry as 0. So in the near array, we have updated. The first entry is updated as 0 and the 6th entry also is updated as 0. It is denoted by red color. Once we updated this, for all the non-zero entries, we are going to find the cast. So what are the non-zero entries we have in the near array? Entry number 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7. These are the non-zero entries. For these entries, we are going to find the cast. So 2, 1, the second entry is 2, 1, right? So what is the cast of 2, 1? 2, 1 is 28. What is the cost of 3, 1? 3, 1 is infinity. 4, 1, infinity, because we don't have the direct connection, okay? Now, 5, 6 is 25 and 7, 1 is infinity, okay? So, in this step, first we are making the first and the 6th entry as 0 and then find the cost of all the non-zero entries. Now we found it. The second entry is 28, the third entry is infinity, fourth entry is infinity, fifth entry is 25 and the 7th entry is infinity. Okay, once it is done, find the minimum cost. Among this, which is the minimum cost? 25 is the minimum cost. So the minimum cost is 25. So what is the corresponding edge? The corresponding edge for 25 is 5, 6. So enter that 5, 6 into the T matrix. So far 2 entries we made in the T matrix. The first one is 1, 6 and the second is 5, 6. Now in the next step, hereafter we are going to follow this step only. The first step is we have to update the near array by 0 for the last inserted edges in the T matrix. The second step is we need to update the near array by using the condition if near of k not equal to 0 and cost of k comma near of k is greater than cost of k comma j. If the condition is satisfied, we are updating the j value as j value to near of k. So here, what is j value? Look at here. Here, which is the minimum value? 25 is the minimum value. So what is the corresponding j value for this entry? The j is 5. Okay. Now we are making the 5th and 6th entry in the near array as 0. We made it and it is highlighted as red color, highlighted. Okay. Now we are going to update the near array by using the above calculation. What are the non-zero entries we have in this near array? Entry number 2, 3, 4 and 7. Now we can check it for 2. So what is the cost of 2, 1? 2, 1 is 28. Now what is the cost of k, j? What is the k value for this entry? K value is 2. What is j value in this iteration? 5. So 2, 5 is infinity. So 28 greater than infinity, condition not satisfied. So no need to update the near of k value. It remains the same. Okay. Now move to the next non-zero entry. The next non-zero near value is 3. 3, 1 is infinity and 3, j value. What is the j value? 5. So 3, 5 is infinity. Infinity greater than infinity. Here also the condition not satisfied. So no need to update the third entry. The near of k remains the same. Look at the fourth, k is equal to 4. 4, 1 is infinity and 4, 5 is 22. So infinity greater than 22, the condition is satisfied. So if the condition is satisfied, the near array should be updated by the j value. So what is the j value here? 5. So the fourth entry is updated by 5. So it is highlighted by yellow color. Now the next non-zero entry is 7. So 7, 1. What is the cost of the edge 7, 1? Look at the graph. It's infinity. And what is the cost of 7, 5? 7, 5 means the k value and the j value. 7, 5 is 24. Infinity greater than 24, condition is satisfied. So we need to update the near of k by the j value. The j value is 5. So it is updated. So look at the updated array. Only the fourth entry and the seventh entry is updated by the j value 5. Okay. Now, what is the next step? We need to find the cost for all the non-zero entries in the updated array. What is the cost of 2, 1? What is the edge cost of 2, 1? It's 28. The edge cost of 3, 1 is infinity because there is no connection. Now 4, 5. 4, 5 is 22 and 7, 5 is 24. Okay. So once the cast is done, we have to find the minimum value, which is the minimum edge cast here, 22. The corresponding edge is 4, 5. So the 4, 5 is inserted into the T matrix. Okay. So now 3 entries we have updated in the T matrix. The final edge is 4, 5. And what is the J value here? Which entry, which edge we have inserted in the T matrix? 4, 5, right? So the J value is equal to 4. Now same step we are going to follow the further iterations. Make 4th and 5th entry in the near array as 0. Why? Because the last inserted edge into the T matrix is 4, 5. That's what we are making 4th and 5th entry in the near array as 0. Why we are making such 0? Because already 4 and 5th edges are included into the resultant matrix. So no need to consider again. Okay, that's what we are making the 4th and 5th entry in the near array as 0. Okay. Now for the remaining non-zero entries, what are the non-zero entries we have here? Entry number 2, 3 and 7. Only for this 3 entries only it's non-zero. Okay. Now we are going to update these 3 entries. Look at the second entry, 2, 1. What is the value of 2, 1? 28. What is k, j? What is the k value here? 2. What is the j value in this iteration? 4. So 2, 4 is infinity. Is the condition is satisfied? No, condition is not satisfied. So the near of k remains the same in the updated array. Now the next non-zero entry is 3, 1. What is the edge cost of 3, 1? 3, 1 is infinity because we don't have the direct connection. Okay. So 3, 4. What is 3, 4? It's 12. So infinity greater than 12. Condition is satisfied. So the j value is updated in the near of k. What is the j value? 4. 4 is updated in the third entry. Okay. And it is highlighted there. Now the next non-zero entry in the near array is 7th one. So edge cost of 7, 1 is infinity. And k, j, k value is 7 and the j value is 4. 7, 4 is 18. 7, 4 is 18. Infinity greater than 18. The condition is satisfied. So if the condition is satisfied, j value is updated in the near of k in the updated array. Now this job is done. Now look at the updated array. How many non-zero elements we have? The second entry, third entry and the seventh entry. Only 3 non-zero entries we have in the updated array. Now what is next? We need to find the cost of the particular edge. So 2 comma 1, what is the edge cost of 2 comma 1? 2 comma 1 is 28, and edge cost of 3 comma 4 is 12, and 7 comma 4 is 18. Okay, to find the cost you need to see the given graph. Okay, now which is the minimum cost here? 12 is the minimum one. What is the corresponding edge for the cost 12 is 3 comma 4. Okay, now we are entering this 3 comma 4 into the T matrix. So all 4 entries we made in the T matrix. Okay, now what is the J value here? The third entry only we updated in the T matrix, right? So J value is equal to 3. Now we are moving to the next iteration. In the next iteration, the last inserted element in the T matrix is 3 comma 4. So make the third entry and the fourth entry in the near array is 0. We made it. The third entry and the fourth entry in the near array is updated as 0. For all the near non-zero elements, we are going to update it. Totally 2 non-zero elements we have, 2 and 7th entry. Okay. Now look at the second one. 2 comma 1. What is the edge cost? It's 28. And k comma j. The k value is 2 here, and the j is 3. 2 comma 3 is 16. 28 greater than 16. The condition is satisfied. So we are going to update the j value in the second entry in the updated array. So 3 is updated there. Now the next non-zero entry is 7th entry. 7 comma 4. The weight of 7 comma 4 is 18, and k comma j, that is 7 comma 3 is infinity. So 18 greater than infinity, condition not satisfied. So no need to update that 7th entry in the updated array. So in this iteration, we have updated only one entry only, that is 2 comma 3. Okay. Now the next is we need to calculate the cost of the non-zero entries. Totally 2 entries, 2 comma 3 and 7 comma 4. The cost of 16, 2 comma 3 is 16 and 7 comma 4 is 18. Which is the minimum cost here? The minimum edge cost is 16. The corresponding edge is 2 comma 3. The corresponding edge is 2 comma 3. So enter the 2 comma 3 into the T matrix. Okay, so totally 5 entries we made it in the T matrix. So what is the J value here? J is equal to 2 because the second entry only we copied into the T matrix. So J takes the value 2 in the next iteration. Now in this iteration, the first step is you are going to make the second entry and the third entry as 0. The second entry and the third entry is made as 0. Okay. Now after that we are going to update the near array. Only one non-zero element we have here, that is the 7th entry. The edge is 7 comma 4. What is the cost of 7 comma 4? 7 comma 4 is 18. Okay. And compare with k comma j. What is the k value? 7. J value is 2. So 7 comma 2 is 14. Okay. 18 greater than 14. Condition satisfied. So we are updating the j value in the k, near of k. Okay. So this is the second one is the updated near array. The 7th entry is updated by the j value 2. Okay. Now look at the updated array. Only one non-zero entry we have here, that is 7 and 2. So what is the cost? 7 comma 2. 7 comma 2 is 14. Now we need to find the minimum cost. Here only one cost is there, so we are taking that. So minimum cost is considered as 14 here. The corresponding entry is 7 comma 2. So insert 7 comma 2 into the T matrix. Now see here, what is the size of our T matrix? The size of the T matrix is n minus 1. What is n here? Number of vertices. So the number of vertices given in our example is 7. Okay, 7 minus 1, 6. So the T matrix we have totally 6 entries. All the 6 entries is filled here. The first entry is 1, 6. Second entry is 5, 6 and 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3 and 7, 2. For example, while we solving some other problem, if we didn't get all the n-1 edges means we have to conclude that there is no minimum spanning tree for the given example. I repeat, if after finishing this, if we didn't get n-1 edges in the T matrix, it concludes that there is no spanning tree in the given graph. In our example graph, we got the n-1 edges. Okay, we got 6 edges. So we have minimum spanning tree. Now we are going to construct the minimum spanning tree by taking the edges from the T matrix. In the T matrix, what is the first edge? 1, 6. The edge cast is 10. So we join vertex 1 and vertex 6 is connected. The edge cast is 10. Okay. Now take the second entry. The second entry in the T matrix is 5, 6. So connect that 5 with 6. The edge cast is 25. The third entry in the T matrix is 4, the third entry is 4, 5. So connect that 4 with the fifth vertex. Edge cast is 22. The next entry is 3, 4. So connect 3 with the vertex 4. The edge cast is 12. The next entry is 2, 3. So the vertex 2 is connected with 3. Edge cast is 16. Now the last edge is 7, 2. So connect the 7th vertex with the second vertex. The edge cast is 14. Okay. Now how to calculate the cost of the minimum spanning tree? By adding all the edge weights. So here the edge weights are 10 plus 25 plus 22 plus 12 plus 16 plus 14, altogether 99. So for the given graph, this is the final minimum spanning tree, and the cost of this spanning tree is 99 units. As I told you earlier, for a single graph that can have more number of spanning trees, among that, this is the minimum spanning tree. What is spanning tree? A spanning tree is a tree that has all the vertices connected with minimum number of edges. If the number of vertices is equal to 5 means in the spanning tree there must be 4 edges. Now this is the algorithm for Prince. Okay. Based on this algorithm only we solved the example. For this algorithm, totally 4 arguments we are passing. Edges, number of edges, the cost matrix, the number of vertices as n, and T is the final T matrix. Okay. How did we start our example? Initially, we choose the minimum edge from the given graph. In our example, the minimum edge is, I think it's 10. Okay. So the edges are K, L. Okay. So the cost is added to the min cost is a variable that gives the minimum cost of the spanning tree. Okay. So the cost of K, L is moved to min cost. Now move K, L into the T matrix. Okay. Once the K and L is moved to the T matrix, you are going to fill the near array. What is the size of the near array? 7. Okay. Here n. Okay. In our example, totally 7 vertices are there. So this loop will be executed for 7 times. So by using this calculation, we are updating the near array. If cost of I, L is less than cost of I, K, then L is updated in the near array, or else K is updated in the near array. Okay. Now, once the near array is updated, we are making the kth entry and the L entry in the near array is 0. Okay. Now, this is the next. This formula will be executed for totally n-1 edges, right? Already one edge we found it. Okay, K, L. That's what this loop starts with 2 to n-1. Why it is n-1? Because The number of edges in the spanning tree is n minus 1. So it starts with 2 because already one edge we inserted into the T matrix. That's what it starts with 2 and ends with n minus 1. For every iteration, we are choosing the minimum and j value. Okay, j value we are choosing it. We are updating the new edge cast with the minimum cast variable and updating the k array by means of the calculation if near of k not equal to 0 and cost of k comma near of k is greater than cost of k comma j. If the condition is satisfied, we are updating the near array entry as j. Okay, this loop is repeated from second to n minus 1 iterations. Okay, finally we are returning the minimum cast. Now the next is time complexity. Okay, so totally how many edges will be there in the spanning tree? N minus 1, right? So the loop executes for n minus 1 times. Each iteration it takes n times. So n minus 1 into n. Okay, what will you get? N square minus n will get it. So you know that we have to take the highest term, that is n square. So the time complexity of the Prim's algorithm is order of n square. Now we can see this is a second example. In the first example, we saw how to solve by using the Prim's algorithm. Based on the algorithm steps only, we have identified the minimum spanning tree for that given graph. But here we can see if one graph is given without that format, without the statements, how to identify the minimum spanning tree. Okay, manually how to identify. So in the given graph, totally how many vertices are given here? Totally 4 vertices and 5 edges are given. The edge weights are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Totally 5 edges. How many vertices? 4 vertices. Okay. Now what is spanning tree? The spanning tree is a subgraph that contains all the vertices from the given graph, but it is connected with n minus 1 edges. At the same time, it's a acyclic subgraph. Okay, so look at the first subgraph here. Totally 4 vertices, right? Which is the minimum cast here? 1 is the minimum edge cast. So the edge 1 is highlighted there because we have chosen that edge. Okay, and it is highlighted. In the next iteration, we need to check what are the adjacent edges we have. The adjacent edges are 2, 3 and 4. Among this, which is the minimum edge? 3 is the minimum edge. Okay. Now we are taken that also. So already edges 1 and edge 2 is connected. Okay. Now let us see what are the adjacent vertices we have. The adjacent vertices are 3, 4 and 5. Which is the minimum edge here? 3 is the minimum. Suppose if you try to join the third edge, what will happen? It forms a cyclic graph. So you must ignore it. Okay, discard the third edge. I repeat, after joining the edge 1 and 2, the remaining adjacent edges are 3, 4 and 5. Among them, 3 is the minimum one. If we choose 3, it forms a cyclic graph. So you should avoid that. Okay, so ignore the 3. What are the remaining edges we have? 5 and 4. Among these 2, which is the minimum edge here? 4 is the minimum edge. So the 4 is joined. So this is the final minimum spanning tree. The spanning tree has totally 4 vertices connected with 3 edges. Okay, n minus 1. So it must be 3 edges only. So what is the cast here? 1 plus 2 plus 4 is equal to 7. So for the given graph, the minimum spanning tree is this one and the cast of that tree is 7.